Okay guys, so today's the day we're gonna take off the first half of the case, and we're gonna be taking off this side. This is the side that's actually scored to get the crankcase carrier out, so then we can get access to the next side, because you've got to take the first half off to then remove the crankcase carrier to then get access to the other side of the case halves as well. So that's what we're gonna have to do today. So we're gonna go ahead and strip the first half of the case off. It's very, very easy. All it is 8mm bolts all around. You guys would have seen when I actually put it back together. Obviously, I've got my engine mount hooked up to both sides of the case, so I'm gonna have to unbolt my engine stand from this side of the case, this top half, and bolt it elsewhere, because otherwise we won't be able to get this case off, because it will be held on by the engine stand bolt. So I'm gonna have to take that out to be able to lift it off. So what we're gonna go ahead and do first is we're gonna release this Torx right here. This is one of the case half bolts. This is bolts down into the crankcase carrier, so we need to remove that. This is gonna be a long bolt, and then we've got a shorter one in the other side of the case, which goes down into the valley here. That goes into the crankcase itself down there as well. So we're gonna take out this first one here. So as you can see, this is the Torx 50. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do is just release it. You can see there, comes straight out. That's one of the long case half bolts that holds the crankcase carrier in place. And now what we're gonna go ahead and do is release all these 8mm bolts. As you can see there, they go all the way around. You guys would have seen when I built mine up, I had to put these all in. There's quite a few of them. You need to release every single one to disconnect this side of the case off the top of the other case. So they're all 8mm. We're just gonna go around, take them all out. They're never they're not torqued up so high. Just take them all out, just like that. Take them all out. And the same thing around here. You can probably see better now. All of them. There's a lot more in easier access. There's quite a few of them. We'll just take them all out. 2 here. Then we've got 2 literally behind here, which you take out. A few just here. Then you've got your ones inside the sump that we need to get to. We'll just take this one out here as well. To get to the sump ones, we're just gonna use our ratchet and just crack them loose. As these ones are always covered in oil, they don't corrode or rust. And that's the other one now out. Some of them will come out easier than others, depends on how corroded they are. Just take that one out. And this one ain't fully out yet. That one's out now, and that one's out. Just take that one out. And all these ones on the corner. Now we'll take these 2 out. They're a bit corroded, this one especially. And that one out. And then we've got one on the corner right here. So the next thing we've got to do is remove this IMS chain tensioner. This is for the IMS. There's a chain that obviously drives the IMS, as many of you guys know, on the crankcase. So we need to remove that tensioner for it. That is a 32mm. And there we go, it just released. This one isn't tight at all anyway, as it's not meant to be. Again, it's got a cross washer that needs to be replaced. Sometimes these can go bad. I've heard of people saying they go bad, but it's not all the time. So I'll just take it out. You can see there's got like a spring on it, and that spring pushes against the chain that actually drives the IMS. So, and you've also got an O-ring there. Make sure to replace all this before you put it always back in, because it comes in the gasket set anyway. So now what I've got to go ahead and do is I've got to take off my engine stand hooks, where I've got it bolted up to the transmission side, and I need to take it off because this is this part of the case that needs to come up, and it won't come up with these bolted in, so I need to take it off quickly, and then we'll be able to take this case off. Okay, now we've got the engine stand disconnected from this part of the case. Now what we're going to do is just release this last bolt that I didn't see right here. So now I've last one out. Then I'm just going to go around, make sure everything's out that needs to be Before we prise up on the case, I'll show you how to do that to be able to lift it up, because it's right here where you prise it. You can see probably down here. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna prise up on the case now. You can see here, you can get your tool straight in there and you just prise up on it. You can see there, it's now released. Then you've got prizing points all round on the back as well to lift it up on the back. You'll see there, and there we go. Now this is the case gonna come out. You don't have to worry about the pistons, they will stay in. You just pull up on it. And there you have it. That's the first half of the case off. And now we can see all the pistons, how bad they are. And yep, 1, 2, and 3. So, yep, 3 pistons are completely knackered and no good. I can see it already, score marks all over it. But cylinder 6 being the worst. So if I take you around here, you can see how scratched up that piston is right there. Just clean it up so you guys can see. So you guys can now see how bad it scraped the cylinder walls and how bad this piston is. This one is in bad shape as well. You can probably just see it there. Started to scratch off all the coating, and this one has scratches all over it as well. So it's gonna be probably 3 pistons gonna be needed here. I can tell you now, cylinder 1, 2, and 3 ain't gonna have this issue, but cylinder 4, 5, and 6 do have this issue, and it's very, very bad. So therefore, we're gonna need to probably get 3 pistons at the most, but who knows? I'll have to find out what we can do. Maybe all 6 pistons, who knows, or worst case 3. Pretty sure we can get 3 pistons. Obviously, as many of you guys know, I built mine using these kind of pistons. I managed to get good ones for 4 of them off a good friend of mine, and they work flawlessly in my car. So who knows? Obviously, we need to let the person know and let them find out what they want to do now going forward with this, because obviously, see the coating's completely gone on that one. Coating's worn off on that one from the heat. You can hear it, see it there, look at it. Burn mark in it as well from where it's just worn away. And this one is no different as well. Coating's gone on that one where it's just worn away as well. It's just bad news, obviously. As many of you guys know, it's to be expected. But as you can see, guys, we've now confirmed bore scoring. We've now got the first case off. We will be removing the next case in the next video. As many of you guys can see, it's a very, very simple process now. Just unbolt the last crankcase carrier bolt. The crankcase carrier will then lift out. I pull it on my bench, and then we can just unbolt this case from the engine stand and take it off. And that will be the whole strip down complete. I need to send the cases off to have them re-sleeved. Then we'll have to build this engine back up again. Obviously, I won't be recording everything because I'd already done that previously on my one. It's exactly the same process, but obviously we do need 3 new pistons at the most, which is what I expected. And secondly, like I said, whoever diagnosed this saying it was scored on all cylinders was completely wrong, because that's simply not the case. So there you go, guys. Thank you very much for watching. It's BMW Dr. Dean here, and goodbye.